Hello, Leo. Welcome to Spicy Sunflower Tarot and welcome to your monthly reading for the month of March. This is going to be just a general overview reading for the entire month. So please use your discernment and your intuition when it comes to the messages that come through. We're going to use the Ocean Tarot deck, so specifically because it is Pisces season and we're in water. So deep water, so Ocean Tarot, that was my thought process behind choosing this deck for your main spread. I will also be doing the Celtic Cross, traditional Celtic Cross spread for your general overview. And so let's just get ready to get the perfect messages for the sign of Leo. One more shuffle through. Leo, month of March. Hopefully you're off to a great start. Let's do a split here and see what we have for the sign of Leo, the fire sign Leo. I'm going to just lay them down and we're going to come back and talk. I'm going to see if any jumpers want to pop out. We already have this recent past going to be the Seven of Pearls. Let's look for your current position. Scoot these out of the way. Current position for the sign of Leo. What is going on currently as March opens or, as March situates itself in our lives? For the sign of Leo, that current energy is Two of Pearls, Two of Cups. So you're feeling loving and connected and partnered up. What's challenging that for you? What is challenging you being in this Two of Pearls energy, Two of Cups? For the sign Leo, what's challenging you being in that partnership energy? Empress. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. What's on your mind? What is going on your mind all the time? Maybe it's playing like a tape that you just can't turn off. It's just always there on your mind. Ace of Coral, Ace of Wands. So this is definitely fiery. There's emotions. There's a little bit of everything here. There's emotions, there's fire, and there's some earth. Let's talk about what is in your subconscious. What's hidden? What might not you be aware of, but it's definitely there. For the sign of Leo, Knight of Coral. So Knight of Wands. Definitely passion. Passion's on your mind and passion is in your hidden factors. What is in the near future for the sign of Leo? Coming up into the near future, what do we have? Queen of Treasures. Queen of Pentacles, essentially. So that is thinking about your possessions. I'm going to turn the next four face down and we're going to come back and talk about those. So the first one is your external energy. It affects you, but it's not you. Internal energy, how you feel about things. Hopes and fears. And the final outcome for the sign of Leo. The bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Treasure, which is the Page of Cups, which is such a sweet, tender, precious, vulnerable energy. The Page is a communicator. They bring messages. The Page is immature, naive, I'm just getting that vulnerable message. At the bottom of the deck, this is looking at everything as an overview. So it looks like March is going to be tenderly communicated or communication oriented. There's going to be some spilling of emotions between you and another. You did have the Two of Cups here in your current energy, so this makes a lot of sense. Maybe you and a lover or you and a partner are sharing, everything's out on the table and we are getting our feelings out there. It's definitely emotional. We're getting our feelings out. We're discussing, we're talking about, these are the things that have hurt me, and these are the things that I know I've done that have hurt you. And it's like making amends. It's definitely apologies, definitely emotional communication. Page of Treasures at the bottom of the deck. Let's jump right in. Your recent past showing up as the Seven of Pearls, which is a little option oriented. It's definitely choices, but it can also be fantasies. So what brought you to the month of March is the Seven of Pearls, the Seven of Cups. Very emotional, very choice oriented, and can be delusional, can be fantastical, fantasy oriented. So as you came into the month of March, you were in your emotions and you were filled with choices. We can stay in Tennessee, or we can move to Kentucky. We can have dinners bought out every night, or we can cook at home. And so it's in an effort. All these choices have been on the table for you, Leo, and you've just been having to make choices. But, options are good. So as you came into the month of March, you came in with choices before you, which is great, I think. Sometimes they can be overwhelming, but overall, it's good to have choices. Your current energy is the Two of Cups. So you are definitely feeling connected at the heart space with another. And even if it's not a romantic other, it can be a partnership where you are really feeling locked in with that other person. You're feeling connected, on the same page. We speak the same language. It is emotionally, you're settled on, this is my person, or this is my place of business, or this is something you've locked in on the connection of in your heart. And what challenges that is the Empress. And this is interesting because you and another are feeling this connection emotionally, but you overall are feeling like a baddie. The Empress is the embodiment of all four queens, male or female. It's definitely feminine energy. This is divine feminine, actually, and this is goddess energy. The Empress is the embodiment of all four queens, so it is definitely divine feminine mother archetype. The Empress is always giving birth to something new. The Empress is always bringing something into this physical reality from the ability for her to reproduce. This can be not just a physical child, but it can also be, say, in the business world, you're always producing. You're always coming up with ideas. You're always coming up with how we can move forward and bring great things into existence. The other interesting thing, and I think this suits you, Leo, because I know you're regal, I know you're royal. The Empress is the aesthetics of the spiritual world. So the Empress brings luxury and aesthetic pleasures to the world. It looks good. It smells good. It tastes good. It feels good. The Empress is all of your sensations being stimulated. The Empress is always concerned about, how it looks, how it feels, how everything is aligned. And why I think this is challenging your Two of Pearls, that emotional connection that you are in your current energy, you're feeling it, but you're challenged by the Empress because it is almost like you are occupied with everything that you're trying to produce and all of your work and everything you're putting out there, all of this reproduction energy. So it takes you away from being locked in with another person because you're just thinking about your physical reality. And it's a challenge to your emotions. It pulls you out of your emotions and puts you into your world, in your physical world. What is on your mind? What keeps you up at night or keeps your mind turning is the Ace of Coral, which is Ace of Wands. Now this, Leo, is your master symbol in the way of it is an ace, so it's a 1. It's a new beginning in the way of your passions, your fire, it's your magic wand. And it is when this magic wand comes out, there is new beginnings in intimacy, job, your profession, new creative outlets, pursuits of new passionate projects. So either way, what's on your mind is I'm thinking about everything that is just invigorating to my spirit all the time. What's in the subconscious that you might not be aware of, but it's definitely affecting you, is the Knight of Coral, which is the Knight of Wands. So this Knight of Wands takes that passionate Ace of Wands and is going to move with it. Now, this is Sagittarius energy in the way of it is adventurous. It's a mover and a shaker. It is going to see something that they want and they're going to go get it. The thing about the Knight of Coral is they're not interested in forever. They're interested in right now. So if this is intimacy or passion, this in your subconscious, you just want it, but you don't necessarily want it forever. So if you're exploring, you're single, you're exploring love and romance, possibly, that's your current energy, is this connectedness with another. Maybe that's what you are wanting or looking for, but you're definitely interested in it right now. The Knight of Coral is moving towards their passion, moving towards their spiritual flame, but they might not necessarily intend for it to be a forever kind of situation. The Knight of Coral, the tagline that goes with them is they're here for a good time, not a long time. So they're moving towards their passions, and they might not intend for that to be a forever kind of arrangement. But that is interesting because the Empress is all about, the physical reality. And like I said, it's the physical pleasures, all the things that feel good, taste good, sound good, smell good, etc. Moving into your future is the Queen of Treasure. This is actually the Queen of Pentacles. So as you look forward towards your future, now this is a physical reality queen. And remember, I said that the Empress was the embodiment of all 4 queens. So Queen of Treasures, Queen of Pentacles is one of those queens that makes up the embodiment of the Empress. So in your physical reality, as you're moving forward into your future, you are definitely thinking about your coin. You're thinking about your bank account. You're thinking about your investments. You're thinking about your purse, your pocketbook, your checkbook. You're concentrating on amassing a fortune. You're thinking about what are you going to leave behind to your family. You're thinking about how can we increase our value, our net value on paper. How can we make sure that we are eating good quality food? The Queen of Treasures is worrying or thinking and focusing on the physical world, their body, their environment. And so definitely making sure that things are nice, things feel good, that everybody is eating good food, that everybody has nice beds to sleep in. The Queen of Treasures, the Queen of Pentacles, is focused on the internal motivations where physical reality is concerned. So they're definitely focused on, we have to make sure we have the time, we have the effort, ability, all of that. They're thinking about it from an internal perspective. That's your near future. And external energy that affects you, but it's not you, the King of Spears. So this could be someone in your life, Leo. This could be definitely a father, or a masculine role model, or a husband, a partner, a friend, someone in your life that their energy affects yours, is in this King of Spears energy, which is Aquarius. King of Spears is the King of Swords, and it's that fixed air. So they're definitely cerebral thinkers, analytical types. They're strategic. I always get the sense that they're like a general of an army. They're always making sure that they're watching the moves that are happening on the table. They definitely tend to play chess, not checkers. They are watching, observing, so they know how to make their next move. They're in their mind, they're cerebral, they're thinkers, they're smart, but they can be cold, quick, judgmental, um, accountants, tax advisors, attorneys. They're quick on their feet thinking, but they kind of lack emotion and feeling and heart. And so this could serve you in the way of that. In the month of March, the King of Swords, or King of Spears, is affecting you externally. So they could have a say over your life. Like I said, it could be your partner. It could be someone that you look up to, you respect, like a grandfather, a father, an uncle, a best friend. Their words, their communications, because they are the masters of communication, their words affect you. You hear their words when they're not even in the room with you. They affect you because of their verbal and communicative exchange with you. Your internal energy, what that does, how you feel. The month of March has you in your Page of Spears, which is like a few steps down from the King, but you might have taken a page out of their book. It's the Page of Spears, and it's the Page of Swords. They're investigative. They're looking into things. They're opening journals. They're rereading things in the internet. They're going into social media profiles. They are investigative. They're curious. They ask a lot of questions. The page is a messenger. So they bring messages to themselves, or they bring messages to others, but they bring information. Information is their currency. So this is your internal energy. Your external energy was this King of Spears, this gonna tell you how they feel, whether you want to hear about it or not. And your energy becomes, well, let me look into that. Let me research, let me investigate, let me see if I can find if there's truth. They're all about truth. Hopes and fears for you. 6 of coral. So this is victory, success, achievement, celebration. This is your hope, but this is also your fear. This brings me back to a quote by Marianne Williamson. And the quote goes something to the effect of, we're not afraid of failing. We're afraid of success. Specifically because what does success mean for us? Who do we have to be constantly in order for success to be a possibility of our lives? So we're afraid of it, but we also seek it out. So 6 of coral. Celebration, victory, success. Leo, it's like you are being paraded through the streets. This is your hope, but it's also a fear. Because are you going to be able to live up to all of that cheer and accolade? Let's get that final card. For the month of March, the final outcome, 7 of Spears. So more sword energy showing up over here. 7 of Spears is, namely, first of all, it can be self-sabotage. It is definitely in the cerebral, mental category, in the mind. So let's just look at it from the logical perspective. If your hope and your fear is success, you hope for it, but you also fear it because, what will that mean? Who will you have to be if you are successful all the time? You can do things to sabotage your own success in the way of not doing the greatest job on that report, not giving somebody the information they were looking for at work. In your family life, you can fall down on the job in the way of the way your family expects you to show up. And so you're not meeting expectations. And I think that there is this element of, I'm not going to meet everybody's expectations perfectly because that's just not an achievement. That's not a goal of mine. But the 7 of Spears, there's some element in the month of March of getting in your own way, especially in your mind, playing little mental tricks on yourself, maybe trying to convince yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not qualified, that you don't have what it takes. But it is all in your mind, but that can affect the way that you act. When you think about it, you can bring it about. And so you have to be very careful. What I'm really gathering for you is that it is showing you that this is something to be aware of, is how you proceed through the month of March in the mental area of life. You need to be very careful the thoughts that you're thinking. 7 of Spears can also be deception, lies, confusion of reality, somebody like pulling the wool over your eyes. So just be aware, open up, and be very attuned to your environment. And I think that's great that you have the Empress in your challenge position, because the Empress is aware of her physical environment, and it is male or female, can be this Empress energy, this embodiment of everything to do with the physical reality. So being very mindful of anyone trying to pull wool over one's eyes. At the bottom of the deck, you did have the Page of Treasure, which is the Page of Pentacles, and it is bringing messages or new opportunities your way. So overall, for the month of March, for the sign of Leo, watch out for new opportunities. I'm going to shuffle up the Light Seer's Tarot a couple times. We're going to clarify specifically that 7 of Spears. And I think that's going to do it for you, Leo. I think this was overall a very positive reading. You have some things to look forward to, especially in the way of this Queen of Pentacles towards your future. One more shuffle. Whoops, that fell. Let me grab it. One card dropped. Soldier down. Let's do for the sign of Leo. Please clarify 7 of Spears as the final outcome card. Clarifying that 7 of Spears, 7 of Swords for the sign of Leo. Why is that 7 of Swords here? 10 of Wands. Another 6 of Wands. And the High Priestess. Okay. So you know without a shadow of a doubt when people are being truthful to you. You know deep inside the High Priestess is she who knows. Because you have been through so much, Ten of Wands is burdens, carrying loads that it was time for you to set things down. You have this attitude about you that is ultimately always victorious. Leo, I mean, you are a sun-based energy. You are just beautiful and elegant and confident. And the Six of Wands is you. You know, this is an intuition high priestess. It's an intuition badass. So when this Seven of Swords is showing up as your final outcome, I want you to be very internally tuned in to your environment. I mean, with the Empress showing up there and you in your internal energy, an investigative Page of Spears, trust your internal GPS system. Trust that you know the truth. The High Priestess is she who knows. So not only did you get this beautiful Empress as your challenge to your Two of Cups, but the High Priestess is she who knows. You know the truth. You do not have to question it. So when you see people, places, or things being dishonest, be in trust of that and thank the situation overall, because thank you for showing me who you are. Thank you for showing me the truth. That's the most valuable thing that anyone could receive, is the truth. Sometimes it hurts. Remember, you did have this speaker of truth here as your external in energy. So someone around you is also very keenly aware of people telling the truth, people being honest with you. Could be your accountant, your CPA. They know about your life, and they can tell you that you're being lied to, you're being deceived, you're being cheated on. So watch out. So that is good to have people like that in our lives. Let me grab the Spirit Junkie for your final oracle card. Spirit Junkie is Gabrielle Bernstein, and I want to finish your reading off with this one last phrase or comment. We'll see what it says. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges. So that is a really great message, especially as far as that Seven of Swords is concerned. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges, no matter what they are. I see grace and possibility. Positive. Excellent. Thank you, Leo. Please remember that I am on TikTok and on YouTube. So your likes, your follows, your subscribes, your shares, it all makes a difference to the channel and to help me to communicate better with you. I'm also available for personal readings. If you'd like to check that out, it's going to be in the description box below. Thank you very much for being here. Be blessed and be well.